today I'd like to talk a little bit about extraction methods, and why these methods are relevant is largely related to the consumption of edibles. So if you're going to have an edible product with cannabis in it, there's a couple of different ways that cannabis can get into that product, whether it's a gel cap, a tincture, a candy, some type of mint, could be mouth spray. The way that the extraction is performed is they take the cannabis flower and put it through some type of process, and depending upon that process, you could get an isolate. So for example, you could get just THC isolated, or you could get an isolate of CBD, or you might get the terpenes, for example, isolated. Some of the methods are called whole plant extraction, or you might see it referred to as full spectrum. These types of cannabis extractions are going to produce a cannabis oil which contains all the relevant components of the cannabis plant. If you've taken a look at our guides, you know that cannabis is not one chemical. It's comprised of many different types of cannabinoids, flavonoids, as well as terpenes. And these whole plant extractions are going to give you all of the components of the plant. So this is relevant if you've ever heard of anything called the entourage effect. The entourage effect is the theory that all of these parts of the cannabis plant working together are producing an effect that is better than just one of the parts. So you've probably heard this in other places, you know, the sum of the whole is better than the parts. This is the idea behind the entourage effect. Now, in terms of edibles, this hasn't really taken off. You go to your local dispensary, generally speaking, they're not talking about the strain of cannabis that they're using for the extraction. Many of them don't even talk about the extraction method. But if this is something that's important to you, if it's important to you to have that whole plant-based extraction, or again, what's referred to as full spectrum, that's something that you're going to want to keep a close eye out for. Now, typically in these whole plant extractions or in the full spectrum extractions, because all of the components of the cannabis are coming over, the flavor can be very potent. So in my experience, when I'm using an edible that is derived from a whole plant extraction, generally it does compromise the taste a little bit. So that's something to just be aware of as you're starting on your cannabis journey and trying to figure out what products are going to work best for you.